All right, everyone, it's time for a grim milestone down in Latin America, specifically in Venezuela, as though there was, any confusion about that. Inflation in Venezuela now has hit a critical milestone here. 1,000,000% inflation. It's gotten to the point where apparently some people are literally making their transactions using weights. Like they'll take the bundled Bolivar notes because they're worthless on their own. They'll take them and they'll weigh it, and they've determined like roughly how many Bolivars to weight, what the ratio is. And so I wouldn't be surprised if someone starts taking something, like dirt and sprinkling it around between them just to cut the Bolivar, so to speak. This is ridiculous. 1,000,000% inflation. Okay, so it was basically modern Yugoslavia levels. This is the sort of thing that you see preceding the collapse of nations, usually. I think the best thing for Venezuela would be a general collapse in which the people rise up, they're like, hey, the government's got to go, enough is enough, we don't care if you shoot us because, we're going to die anyway, and overthrow Maduro. Unfortunately, now with the last, as of yesterday, last newspaper critical of Maduro is gone. He's clamped down completely on basically every aspect of life, and he's already gotten his socialist militias, tens of thousands of decently trained and funded guerrillas, now basically providing security alongside whatever military forces and security forces are still loyal to him. The problem is that the average Venezuelan is disarmed, and probably at this point some of them are too emaciated to fight. It's a really big problem. Inflation like that, like, can you imagine if the dollar hit 1,000,000% inflation? It's like, here, let me take my wheelbarrow to the store to go get a couple cans of soup or something. Oh wait, we're under socialism, I can't eat soup, so I'll buy mulch and I'll make smoothies out of it or something. They're really tasty, by the way, supposedly a true story from North Korea during their famine. They would take grass clippings and mulch and sort of mix it together and put whatever they could in it. Just have something in their stomach to keep the gnawing pain away. I would think that the other end, when you shit the mulch out, I would think that'd be way worse than the stomach pain. I could be wrong, though. I mean, I've never tried a mulch and grass clipping smoothie. Maybe they even have some bean sprouts. They put that in for flavor or something. It's not really funny, though. When we've seen this happen in countries before, usually it's calamitous. I mean, people getting mowed down by, the government forces and Molotov cocktails and broken windows and shit like that. The problem is that if life in Venezuela has become so unlivable, if it's to the point where you have to wait in line for 2 hours to get a bag of rice, and in order to get it you have to have literally a sack full of bolivars, because, how many bolivars is it to the dollar? Some insane total. And unless they wanted to print a bunch of bigger denominations and hyperinflate the currency further, there's no other way really to do it. And so it's crazy. Literally, it's like, let's carry around these Lego bricks, these giant Lego bricks made entirely of bolivars. Might as well just compress them together. There are people that wipe their ass with them because the toilet paper is more expensive. I don't know why anyone would buy toilet paper at this point down there. What, does Maduro have, like, Cajun seasoning rubbed on the notes to make it so you won't wipe your ass with them or something? Don't even bother buying the fucking toilet paper. That's a luxury at this point. When toilet paper becomes a luxury, there's something wrong with your economy. It's either completely underdeveloped, or it was developing and your government has fucked it with socialism and it's hyperinflating. In this case, it's of course the latter. In the case of maybe Zimbabwe, it was the former and the latter. You've got these problems. So Maduro really should go. The problem being, of course, again, he has his assassins out there, so people probably don't dare to come for him. They're like, yeah, we get rid of Maduro, it'll get rid of me too. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to, be the one to strike the first blow, so to speak. We'll wait until it's even more miserable. And the more miserable it gets, the more protests you're going to get. But at this point, a lot of people that were inclined to protest, especially the younger people, those of able body, the ones that would actually maybe be more likely to risk themselves. You're young and dumb and fucking, you think you're invincible and crazy shit like that. The ones that would take the trash can lids and the little ball bats and go beat on his security forces, they all fled to Colombia. They're like, hell, I'm just going to go elsewhere. I can make money there. I'll send some back to my family. At this point, a lot of people appear to be doing that. There's probably millions of Venezuelans doing that between just Colombia and Brazil. I think there are Venezuelan refugees here, and they're actual legit refugees. They live in a non-functioning society with only the most despotic of dictatorial left-wing tyrants at the helm. He's a former bus driver. He doesn't know about economics. Could he point you out where Yugoslavia used to be on the map and why maybe his economic proposals are a bad idea? I don't think Maduro could. Hell, even Chavez probably couldn't. Most of this is Chavez's fault. He's the one that set the stage by refusing to take the oil money that they were making in their early stage of post-revolutionary investment. He refused to take that and diversify the economy. He said, no, oil's valuable. We'll just pump more and more of it. We'll just keep pumping oil. Oh shit, now the oil prices have plummeted. What are we going to do? We never spent money when times were good on assuring ourselves that we could at least get along to some degree when times weren't good. That's what you should be doing. That's why people, they need to save money and shit like that. Of course, when you save money, with the Fed constantly, slowly inflating the currency, basically, you're just setting it aside for a rainy day. You're not making any money by saving anymore. It's impossible to do. They've stacked the deck against private investors in every possible way for the most part. Venezuela, though, it's impossible to get ahead. It doesn't matter. You can work 24/7. You'll never be able to afford enough food to actually support your own labor. When the food becomes more costly than the labor required to actually attain it, there is no economy. There's no country. It becomes an impossible, nightmarish, socialist, dystopian mess. Maduro needs to go. The Venezuelan people are the only ones that can do it. It's obvious that the rest of Latin America is reluctant to get involved. If the U.S. got involved, it'd be terrible. I would totally spurn that concept. Even if it would liberate them from Maduro, it'd just end up being back in socialist hands within a generation. It'd probably end up worse, actually. That's about all. Peace out.